afternoon, folks. Big Bo with RVs with Big Bo at Parkway RV Center. And guys, guess what? Going back to a motorhome today. And got a nice one that we just got in. Got a really great buy on this one, so I'm going to pass that good buy along to you. This is a 2018, technically a 2018 and a half Coachmen Freelander. This is the model 26DS. Mid-size Class C, you know, not too big, not too small, a little bigger than some of these I've been shooting, but still a lot smaller than like a 31 or 32 footer. This is a 26DS, 25,500 some odd miles on it. Really nice. It's built on a 4500 Chevrolet chassis. Got some really nice features and got some nice options. Low miles. In fact, it's on a Chevrolet. You just don't hardly see many motorhomes this size on a Chevrolet. Yeah, you see a lot of like the 22s and 23s and 24s, but this is actually a 27, almost a 28 footer, 2711, I think officially, bumper to bumper on a Chevrolet 4500, not a 3500, but a 1.5 ton chassis, the equivalent of an E450 chassis. So it's a good heavy duty chassis. It's got the 6-liter Vortec V8, which is actually a little bit better on fuel than the V10. A little bit less horsepower and torque. Well, actually more horsepower, but less torque. It's 324 horsepower versus the V10, which is 305 in the Freelander this year with the V10. But you got less torque, so it's 373 pound-feet of torque, which we are going to drive it later in the video, guys, so don't worry about that. I personally like a Chevrolet chassis in a smaller motorhome, so I'm kind of curious about how this thing rides and drives in a mid-size Class C, and we'll kind of check it out together. One thing I want to point out, some nice options. It does have something that I paid quite a bit of money to add to my personal RV, the Firestone Ride Right adjustable air helper springs. It actually got air helper springs, like basically airbag suspension in the springs that will soften the ride. So we'll definitely check that out, see how it does. Made a huge difference in mine. So I expect for it to do just as much with this. 2 slide outs, both on this side. Both have awning toppers. It does have a nice 17-foot power awning. 4 kW on-end generator. I've got it running, powering everything up inside. Tires look great. I mean, good looking color on it. Got a 5,000 pound tow capacity. NADA retail, let me go ahead and flash that up, is over $70,000. But again, guys, I don't price these like other dealers are by what they're worth. I price them by what I paid for it. So when I get a good deal like this, I pass it along to you. So hang on one second, I'll flash that NADA up. And you can see, guys, with no added options, even though this thing's got plenty, I am selling it for low retail and well above high retail condition. Awning's in great shape. It works great. 6-gallon DSI gas electric water heater. Now this is pretty cool, guys. Of course, it does have the Asdale composite panels, and what that means is you've got your regular fiberglass exterior on the outside, but because this is Asdale, it's not glued to wood backer boards. And what happens is if water ever gets into one that's glued to wood backer boards, this fiberglass, that wood rots, and this fiberglass has nothing to glue to, and you start delaminating. You start getting bubbles in your fiberglass. Well, in theory, because this is a synthetic material that this is glued to, it never rots. I mean, they've done experiments where they've took the Asdale and soaked it in a bowl of water for months and months at a time, and it doesn't rot, it doesn't swell, it doesn't retain moisture. And that's what they built this out of. So in theory, these are not supposed to delaminate. And I haven't seen one yet that does. I'm not saying that, you know, that it couldn't, but I seriously doubt it would. And the awning canvas works great. Power awning works great. Got a LED light strip. Works great. Of course, it looks a lot better at night. Let's look inside. I'm gonna show you a couple of cool features. First of all, it does have power RV stabilizer jacks. Now guys, these are, and you know, a lot of dealers would go ahead and take advantage, especially first time RV buyers, and say, oh, those are leveling jacks. Those are not leveling jacks, guys. This is not going to pick your RV up off the ground. These are what's called stabilizer jacks. They keep it from rocking back and forth when you're parked somewhere, to make it more comfortable. They're not going to pick it up off the ground. They're not for leveling, they're for stabilizing. You know, there's a big difference between stabilizer jacks and leveling jacks. So don't let a dealer tell you any different. You very rarely see a Class C with leveling jacks. Maybe one or two out of 100. Another nice feature, this is one of the few Class C's that is actually set up for a car seat. It is set up for one car seat, for a forward-facing car seat. It's got the tether, it's attached to the frame. You know, I've always been a big thing about that, because so many people are putting car seats in RVs that shouldn't be, putting their child's health at risk if they ever get into an accident. You know, again, guys, let me emphasize, car seats have to be forward-facing in a seat attached to the frame, not in a slide-out. Putting 2 or 3 car seats in a sofa in a slide-out is very, very, very dangerous. I'm an adult, guys. I would not want to be sitting in a slide-out, something that is attached but not really attached. If somebody was driving, was ever involved in an accident, I couldn't imagine somebody doing that to a child in a car seat. And I get flack over that all the time, guys. I'm a dad. You know, I got rid of a 38-foot motorhome, went to a 25-footer at the time, just so that I could have a safe place to buckle my daughter in. And that's why that car seat thing has always been a pet peeve of mine, when I see somebody hauling kids in a motorhome without a proper place to safe place to attach a car seat. I may be overprotected, but guys, that's just the way I am. So do your research on that. If you got questions about that, feel free to contact me, and I'll tell you all the information I did from extensive research and contacting different government agencies and local police, fire departments. I contacted the NHTCA, got information directly from them, actually talked to people from them about RVs, and got some very good information that I'll pass along to you if you're interested. So just email me, bo@parkwayrvcenter.com, if you want to know about child car seats in motorhomes. The truth is, guys, 99% of the motorhomes on the market today are not suitable for kids in car seats. Most people with kids that need to be in car seats are having to buy towable campers and towable fifth wheels, where the children can be safely buckled up in the truck or the whatever they're towing with, while the camper or the fifth wheel is hooked to the truck. But this is one of the rare ones that you can actually put a single car seat right here forward facing. Anyway, you do have a large table booth, and this table booth is adjustable. So like if you don't want this U-shaped dinette, you can move this, and I'm doing this one-handed holding a camera, so y'all forgive me if it gets a little bumpy. This should slide in there out of the way, and you went from a U-shaped dinette to a L-shaped dinette, and this will fold down, make a bed. You've got a flip down sleeper sofa here. You've got a full-sized, almost queen-size bed up here. It's bigger than a full, smaller than a queen, so you use queen-size sheets. And it does have a TV on a swivel mount, a manual swivel mount, that will come out all the way here. And again, guys, I apologize if it gets a little shaky camera work. Of course, y'all are probably used to that if you've been watching too many of my videos. See if I can do this one-handed. I took pictures of all this, by the way, so you can see the different And there's a ladder. Of course, ladder attaches right here, comes straight down. You do have a safety net that buckles up to the ceiling. And you know, gives you a little safety net if you've got kids or adults that don't want to roll out. Guys, when I was a kid, this is where I always slept, was in the Cabover bed. I'm not gonna lie, I rolled out of one of these a few times as a kid. It doesn't feel good at all, trust me. That safety net's actually a pretty nice thing. Even as an adult, I would probably still use that. And of course, it's just like a seat belt. You just unbuckle it and buckle it up. And then you just slide this up out of the way, pop it over, and you got easy access to your front cab. Let's talk about the front cab for a minute, guys. This is a Chevrolet chassis. Very easy to drive. It's got an ice cold dash air that will actually, what I like about the Chevrolets, they've got a lot more airflow than a Ford on the dash air. You know, I drive a GMC van. This dash is very, very close to my GMC van. You got tilt cruise, of course, standard stuff. Backup camera when you put it in reverse, which I've got the awning out, so I know I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to drive it with the awning out, but you can see the camera comes on when you put it in reverse. You can set that to stay on all the time. It's a Bluetooth stereo. 25,557 miles, no check engine lights. It's got the automatic headlights. Does have a 150 watt inverter right here, so you want to plug a laptop or something like that up, you know, for your passenger, you can. I mean, I hope you're not driving a motor home and working on a laptop. Power windows, power locks, I mean, all that works good. Chevrolet does have a little bit longer wheelbase than the Fords do, so it does have a really good ride and drive, and you compare that up with the Firestone Ride Right air helper spring suspension. I think this thing's going to drive good, but we're going to find that out here shortly. So don't worry about that. And we drove this thing almost 600 miles here, so I know it drives good. My drivers would have made a note about it. And you know, these are pretty easy because I'm a big guy, so it's a little harder for me, but for the average person, these are pretty easy to go from the front cab to the back. And it does have rubber mat in the front. In fact, there's no carpet in this motorhome. Front cab's rubber, and then of course you've got linoleum through the rest of the RV. Kitchen area, you've got a 6 cubic foot. This is the actual RV refrigerator freezer. It's already getting cold, and we still guarantee it to work. Guys, even at this low price, and this will be the lowest priced one on RV Trader. Let me show you something real quick. I'm not going to pause the video and flash it up, but I have this, they've got this really cool tool on RV Trader that I use several times a day. It's called the RV Price Checker. In RV Trader, and I'm not affiliated with them, guys. I use them for advertising, but I'm not paid. I'm not endorsing them. But they are pretty much the go-to place for anybody that wants to know the current market value of what an RV is, what they're selling for. And they have over 200,000 new and used RVs for sale. And I use them all the time because what I like about them is you're not looking at a bunch of 2 or 3 year old ads that sold years ago, because you have to pay to physically renew the ad. If you don't pay to renew it every 30 or 60 days, it's automatically deleted. So you're not looking at a website posting from 5 years ago with a 5-year-old price. And what I did, guys, is I use a price checker tool to check 2016 to 2019 Freelanders, 2060Ss. Mine's $59.9. You can see lowest price is $69.9. Highest price is $83.3. Average is $78,442. Mine, when it comes out on there in a couple of days, will be the lowest priced one by $10,000. And mine's only got 25,000 miles on it. So you can imagine how quick this thing's going to sell. But that's how we sell them, guys. We price them to sell, not sit around. And that's why y'all subscribe to my channel. We've got the best deals on used RVs in the United States, and I've proven that time and time and time again. I just proved it again right there. And we still, even though this is the lowest priced one currently on the market on the internet as of today at time of video production, we still do our major systems inspection, guys. We're not just going to just give you the keys like most dealers do on used RVs. So here you go. We don't, you know, take the good with the bad. What we do, guys, even at that low price, we still make sure and check your major systems. We make sure the generator runs and puts out, which it obviously does. We make sure the roof air gets to operating temperature, which it obviously does. Make sure the slides work, which I'll show you that here in a minute. Before we go on the test drive, I'll bring them in, show you what it looks like with the slide outs in. We also make sure the refrigerator freezer gets to operating temperature. We check your water system, which includes water heater, water pump, faucet, spigots, toilet, make sure all that works. Make sure there's no drips or leaks or no plumbing leaks or anything like that. Now, we usually don't cover awnings or dash airs or anything like that, but those all work, so you don't have to worry about that. And of course, anything else, guys, you come inspect yourself. We cover the major stuff that can ruin your trip, guys. We leave the Mickey Mouse stuff to you. You know, a refrigerator that doesn't work can ruin your trip, or a slide out that doesn't deploy can ruin your trip, or a generator not working can ruin your trip. Whichever light in this thing works, just say that light right there didn't work. You can fix that yourself in 10 minutes and a $20 part from Amazon. If that light didn't work, that's not going to ruin your trip. If you had this cabinet right here, let's just say this right here came off or was broken, that's not going to ruin your trip at all. That's not going to affect it at all. But it's not, but let's just say it did. It was broken. That's not going to ruin it, guys. Don't sweat the small stuff. That stuff you can fix yourself. That's part of owning an RV. We cover the major stuff, guys. The stuff that can cost you the most money. And that's what we cover. We do a major systems inspection, which includes, like I said, slide outs, generator, roof airs, or roof air, refrigerator, freezer, the drivability of it. This one don't have steps. It's got the low profile step going in, so it, you know, if it had steps, we'd cover that. And of course, the awning works. Even though we don't cover it, it still works, so you're good there. So you know you're good on all that stuff, guys. And like I said, anything else you need to do, one of two things or both, you need to come inspect it for yourself, look at it for yourself, see what works, what doesn't, before deciding to buy it or not buy it based on that information, or because you can do both, or neither. It's your choice. It's a free country. You don't have to do neither. If you want to take a chance, buy it sight unseen like we do. I mean, you're buying it so far back a book, you're really not hurt. But you can also hire a third-party inspection service. I do recommend that, guys. A few $100s, better safe than sorry. They can tell you everything that works and doesn't work on it. Of course, we don't fix anything besides those systems that we cover, the major systems, but at least that way you know what you're getting into. A lot of times there may not be anything wrong with it, or it might just be a bunch of Mickey Mouse stuff that all together you can fix yourself in 3 or 4 hours with a minimum amount of skills and tools. Like right here, guys, I finally found one thing. You've got a little bit of peeling on this contact paper. A little bit of glue can fix that. You can fix that yourself real easy. Thermostat's working, air conditioner's working. Big closets. I mean, bathroom. Got the RV that is porcelain. Got a nice little stand-up shower. Not a huge shower, but it's a smaller motor home, so I guess you have to take what you can get. You know, what do you spend more time in? The bedroom and the living area and the kitchen area, or the bathroom? I mean, you spend what, 30-40 minutes a day in the bathroom? You spend several hours a day in the bedroom and the rest of the RV. So if I'm gonna take space from something, logic tells me it's gonna be the bathroom. So, but still plenty enough for one person to get ready in. You're just not gonna fit 2 people in here at a time. I mean, I'm over 300 pounds, guys, and 6'4", and I can fit in here just fine. Pretty cool thing they got right here too, and this is just little touches that they do that I like. You got a little fold-out countertop right here. Of course, you can't sit on the toilet when that's out, but hey, it gives you a little place for getting ready. A little storage right here. Not bad. Now, when this slide out comes in, and this is the only downside, and you'll see it here in a minute, on these rear corner bedroom slides, it allows you to have a nice queen island bed, but this bed is not usable when the slide out's in because the mattress kind of folds over in half, and it doesn't allow you to use it when the slide out's in. So to use this bed, you got to have the slide out, so you're not going to be able to go down the road and sleep on this bed. Maybe a kid long ways might be able to sleep on it, but it won't be very comfortable. You do have a TV. I do like the fact that they've got two fantastic vent fans, one over each main bed. You've got one over here, and then you got one over the Cabover bed. And those are the boondocker's best friend. If you're boondocking, you don't want to run the generator, it's not very hot out, you just want to either circulate some of the night air in to cool you off, or move some of the hot air out. Those fans can do that, and they run off a battery, 12 volt, so you don't have to worry about having 110 power to operate them. I've got one in my RV, guys. I wouldn't have one. I wouldn't own an RV without it. If mine didn't have one, I'd put one in it. Those things are very, very nice. Does have a DVD player, and guys, this is a nice one. $59.9 haggle-free firm plus applicable sales tax. We don't have any extra fees besides if you are a Georgia resident, and Georgia residents only. If you come from out of state, like most of our customers do, you don't have to pay this. There is a $50 to $100 highway impact fee and a $40 to $50 tag and title fee depending on the county you live in the state of Georgia. Other than that, guys, there's no fees. You know, we're not like Rip-Off World and all these other big franchise, big chain dealerships, guys. The bigger the dealer, the more you're going to pay. Our prices are low because we've been in business since 1968. Everything we own is paid for. We have a very low overhead, so it allows us to sell these things for a much lower markup because we're not sponsoring college football bowl games. We don't have stadiums. We don't have a Parkway RV Center stadium. I mean, that sounds cool, but you know, I'm not going to pay multiple millions of dollars a year to have my name on a stadium like Rip-Off World does, because all I know is that that's just extra cost that's passed along to the customers who buy RVs from those dealerships, because they got because they got that stadium named after them, or ever how many stadiums. That just means everybody buys an RV from them's got to pay an extra $1,000 because of that advertising, or $2,000 or more. That cost is passed along to everybody that buys an RV from them. And keep in mind, guys, when you see my advertised price, that's out the door plus sales tax. Now, you go to like Rip-Off World or any of these chain dealerships, even if you add your sales tax to it, guys, you can't walk in there and buy that motorhome or that camper or that fifth wheel for what they advertise it plus tax. There's no way, no how. You can't walk in there with a cashier's check for that exact amount plus your tax. They're going to be adding fees, dock fees, prep fees that can add hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars that are nothing but dealer profit. And they're going to come up with all kinds of crazy names for them, but they're all 100% dealer profit. They're all rip-off fees. Then they're going to add an additional 8, 9, 10, 12, 15,000 or more in upsells. They're going to make you feel like you have to buy an extended warranty, gap insurance, tire and wheel protection packages. They're going to make you feel like you have to buy roadside assistance. Guys, none of that stuff a dealer sells you is worth a flip. It's just a upsell. They take that stuff that you can buy yourself away from the dealership, by the way. None of those upsells are dealer exclusive items. But here's the thing, guys. They mark it up 4 times, 5 times what the dealer pays for them. They basically take a warranty, an aftermarket warranty that's, they paid $1,500 for it. They charge you $8,000 for it. And when you need to turn in a claim, on average, they pay about 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4 claims that you turn in. And out of those 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4, most of the time it's just a partial payment. And you have to pay the shop first and get reimbursed for it. And most of the time it's just a partial payment. These companies don't, these warranty companies, guys, do not make money by paying out claims. They make money by collecting premiums. I do not recommend any aftermarket warranty, guys. Take that money that you're going to spend. Let's say a dealer wants $8,000 for a aftermarket warranty. Instead of giving that dealer $8,000 so they can take $1,500, buy that warranty, and pocket $6,500 in profit, take that $8,000, put it in a savings account, let it draw with whatever little bit of interest it does, and draw on it if you need assistance, or if you need to pay for any kind of service repair. I mean, you own an RV, repairs are inevitable. That's just a fact of life of owning one of these. Repairs, maintenance, or upgrades is something you're all the time going to be doing. Anytime you own an RV, it doesn't matter how old it is, if it's new, used, what brand it is, what type it is, how much it costs. It don't matter if it's $500,000 RV or if it's a $5,000 RV. You're going to be doing those 3 things pretty much almost all the time. But I guarantee you this, guys. Let's just say you were going to buy a 4-year warranty for $8,000. At the end of 4 years, if you put $8,000 in the bank and didn't buy the extended warranty, at the end of 4 years, guys, I guarantee you'll still have a big chunk of that $8,000 left in that savings account. Not only that, but because you're paying cash for service repairs. Cash is king in the RV service industry. Whether it's a dealer or independent shop, warranty repairs get bumped to the back of the line because they have to go through so much red tape. They want to take care of their cash customers first. Cash service customers can go anywhere to get their RV fixed. The dealerships know that. The independent shops know that. So they want to get them in and out as quick as possible. I've seen it too many times in my 25 years in this industry. If you go in, let's just say 2 people come in, hypothetical situation, 2 people come into a dealership with the same service issue. Let's just say refrigerator doesn't work and they had the same type RV, same type problem. They show up at the same day, and they both turn it in for service work. One's got a warranty, one's paying cash for the repair. I guarantee you that cash customer will pick it up long before that warranty customer will. That's just the way this industry works, guys. And because you're paying cash instead of using that worthless warranty, you're going to be back on the road quicker. Especially when you realize that even after the dealer does all that work and you waited all that extra time, the warranty won't pay the claim. But that's what happens more times than not. I've seen it too many times, guys. So say no to warranties, say no to all upsells. If you buy from these other big chain dealerships, you got more money than you got sense, obviously. But say no to all upsells. Keep your purchase price, your out the door price, as low as you possibly can. Just buy the camper, buy the RV, and nothing else, guys. Don't buy any other service. No matter how good they make it sound, it's not. I promise you. If you need that service, buy it yourself away from the dealership for a fraction of the cost. They're just trying to sell you stuff, guys. They're salespeople. You'll thank me for that advice if you follow it. Especially right now, so many people, guys, are getting ripped off on these things. You know, you get ripped off when you buy new anyway. I mean, this thing brand new was almost double this price now by the time you pay all the fees and upsells. Here's one for 25,000 miles for half the price of what it costs, what a new one would cost today. And it's just a few years old with 25,000 miles. That's just a shame that somebody lost that kind of money and only used it for 25,000 miles. But anyway, well, look, of course, hey, you know, if nobody bought new, we wouldn't have used. But somebody else make the mistake, you're making the smart decision to buy to buy used over new. Even if you got to fix a few things, guys, you're still tens of thousands of dollars ahead over a new one on price. Hang tight, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video for a minute. We're going to bring this room in. If you're interested in this motorhome, please call 706-965-7929. We do offer some great financing available with approved credit. We have no dealer interest rate markup. We save you thousands, not only on the price, we save you thousands on the fees. We save you thousands on financing, guys, because most people don't know this. When you go to dealerships and you finance an RV, which is what they want you to do, they make thousands by marking the interest rate up through their lenders over what they approved you for. In other words, they get you approved for a certain rate. They mark it up 1 or 2%. The banks let them do that. Cost you on something like this would cost you thousands of dollars in higher payments if over the life of an RV loan, if you're talking a 12 to 15 year loan. Always check with your bank or credit union before you go RV shopping so you have a basis of comparison. So many local banks and credit unions are jumping up to the plate on RV financing now that a lot of times you can go to your bank or credit union, get a better rate and just as long a term as a dealer can get you. Because again, your bank's not marking the rate up. The dealership is. Here we don't mark rates up. Financing is a courtesy to our customers, not a way for us to make more money like all these other dealerships. So we're going to save you thousands on financing, thousands on the price, no fees, no upsells. That's going to save you tens of thousands. That's why we sell 500 to 600 used RVs a year, guy. We're family owned and operated since 1968. So stay tuned, guys. I'm going to bring these rooms in and show you how to do that, and then we'll take it for a test drive. Be right back. All right, everybody, I've got the slide out rooms in. Just fairly simple procedure on this particular motorhome. Motor off, parking brake on. Standard precautions like you use with any motorhome. Make sure your driver's seat and passenger seat, if it happens to be one over there, is out of the way and clear. You don't want to rub the back of it. This one's clear. Always go to the outside. Make sure all your outside storage bays are closed. Make sure there's nothing in your way, debris or anything in the way. Or if you were set up parked somewhere, if you were under some trees, you want to make sure there's nothing on top of your slide outs. Like leaves and sticks. This one's got the slide topper, so that pretty much eliminates that step. And once you do all that, come back inside, and you've got two slide out switches right here. Bring them in, push the in switch one at a time, and bring them into the stop. As with all slide outs, you either bring them all the way in or all the way out. Never bring a slide out halfway or 3/4 of the way or 1/4 of the way. That slide out seal has to connect to keep the water out. So remember, guys, slide outs either all the way in or all the way out. One or the other, no in between. All right, I've got them both in, and you can see we've got pretty much access to everything within reason. You do lose access to your oven and your microwave. So, you know, if you park in a parking lot somewhere you want to cook, because I really seriously doubt you're going to be cooking with a gas oven and a gas stove top while you're driving down the road. That'd be kind of dangerous. I'm sure people have done it before, but that would be kind of dangerous. So you will have to pull off somewhere and put your room out, which just takes a few seconds, by the way. But you lose access to that. Still got full access to your fridge, which you can run on propane going down the road, or you can run on electricity if you've got your generator running. Doesn't hurt a thing. You still got access to your sofa. You can sit down, even make the bed out if you want to, make your table bed out if you want to. And everything looks good. Access to everything here. Got a couple of steps up here. Just like I was talking about, guys, you do lose access to this bed. I don't really think a kid could really sleep on that. I guess if you took that mattress off, you might. But that's a very small bed now. I guess you could use it like a couch if you wanted to. You still watch your TV. You can still get your bathroom and use it. All that good stuff. Now, When I was younger, I did this one time. I actually did it more than once. I took a shower going down the road. Well, my dad was driving when I was a kid, but I do not recommend that with a glass shower door. They didn't have them back then, glass shower doors. They were just shower curtains. So, I mean, because that would not have been pretty with a glass shower door if you slipped and fell. But that was a long time ago too. You know, we did things back then that with many more cars and distracted drivers on the road today, I wouldn't do today. So anyway, let me get somebody to film for us, and we'll take it for a test drive, and I'll see you in a minute from the driver's seat. All right, everybody, now we're going to test drive this 2018 Coachmen Freelander, and got the 6-liter V8 with the ride air suspension. So I'm kind of curious how it's going to do here. Usually, like I said, usually you see this particular motor and chassis on the smaller ones. So I'm going to see what it does here. And guys, again, if you've got any questions about this RV, just give us a call here at the lot at 706-965-7929. And we'll see what it does up this hill. So far, so good. I can definitely tell the difference between this and the Ford. This has got a little bit more horsepower but less torque. So yeah, going up this hill, it is a little bit slower than the Ford, but I mean, it's certainly not no slacker. I mean, we're running 50 right now, so I don't think we're going to have a hard time keeping up with traffic. But as far as like just hill climbing power, it is a little bit less than the Ford. But you do gain a little bit of better fuel mileage, you know, a mile or two a gallon, which hey, every little bit helps. And we're going to take it up to the interstate here, and as always, we'll see what kind of speed we can get it up to getting on the highway, and we'll try the cruise control out. See how the transmission shifts, which so far feels good. Tires seem like they ride okay. Get on it just a little bit. Now there it did great. I do like the way it's geared. I mean, we hit the interstate about 62 miles an hour, so very impressed with that. We'll hit the cruise control. 65 right here. Feels good. I'm not pulling to the left or right or anything like that, so I'm not fighting it. Wind always sounds good for Class C. It's got a good gear for like between 45 to 60. I do like that, which is great for getting on the interstate, because you do want to really try to catch up to the speed of traffic, and then once you get on the interstate, you can adjust your speed accordingly. We'll get off the interstate here, we'll try the brakes out, see how it feels, see if the steering wheel pulls, see if we got any pulsating in the wheel, anything like that, like rotors. Brakes feel good. Yeah, we're good. One thing I do like about that ride air suspension in the back, you don't feel the bumps in the back wheels, which is really cool. That, you know, you don't have a lot of rattles and stuff like that. Guys, I think I'd give it a thumbs up on the ride and drivability. Come out and try it. Don't take my word for it. Come try it out for yourself. Come out and visit with us, guys. Give us a call before coming. Our phone number one more time is 706-965-7929. Please call before coming to look. Make sure it's available. Thanks again for watching. Appreciate you riding along with us. And smash us a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe. And look forward to seeing you here in beautiful Ringgold, Georgia.